We are sitting here today with senior game designer and product owner of franchise, Clayton Reed. How you doing?
Doing great. I'm just realizing now that I'm sitting here, I was here last year as well, but 2 years ago when my Rangers won, somehow I wasn't brought on to do the stream, so there's a bit of conspiracy there. But again, I'm still in the World Series glow. Glad to be back for another year.
It's great to have you. We know that you and the whole team live and breathe franchise. Is there anything you just want to kick off this stream talking about?
Yeah, I'll give a little PSA. Just say that, like everyone, all other games, we want our franchise mode to be the best. But we're not just saying that. We love franchise. Like for me, franchise mode is what I play. Tim's going to join us later. Franchise mode is what he loves to play. Our team's very passionate about it. And it's important to us not just as developers, but as fans. So we want the best experience possible for our fans.
I love that you touch on, you are equally a fan of the game, as is
100%.
the community. Tim is somebody who's come from the community. You've been here how many years now?
Again, we don't want to get into this. It'll age me, but I've been here a minute.
All right.
A minute.
Right, but
A long minute.
a long minute. But you've had that fandom carrying through. I know we've sat down with you the last couple of years, kind of refreshing the foundation of franchise mode, and now we're in a position where we kind of reap some of those benefits and what we're able to add to franchise. So if we want to kind of backpedal a little bit, what have we added and where are we going?
Right. So after our team took charge of franchise, we took a cycle or two to really get the foundation in place. We're talking trade metric, player metric, all these pieces to allow us to move forward. Since then, we've overhauled scouting and drafting. We've overhauled free agency. We've added custom game entry. And I'm going to talk about custom game entry for a minute just because, even when we do focus testing and research, we notice that there's people that don't realize that custom game entry is in there. And we think it's really important that people that want to play franchise, sometimes they're a little intimidated about the amount of games they can play it. So I'll talk about custom game entry again for 1 second here. You can customize the level of importance of games to come in. You can set the earliest inning you want to enter a game. You can choose to come in for individual player moments, noteworthy moments or not. It gives you a ton of flexibility. You don't have to play all 162 games, but you'll be there for the big moments. We want you to get through seasons. We want you to dig into the features that we've put, blood, sweat, and tears into.
For sure. And I know that leads us all into one of the biggest features we've seen in franchise now that we're going to kick off, and it's the new trade system.
Yeah. All that said, the biggest part of the stream that we'll discuss is the new trade system that we built from scratch. The system's night and day when compared to the old system. Easily the best system we've had in the show. You can quote me on that. Not even scared. Not even close to anything that came before. So Rangers, trades, quote me.
There you have it. Yeah, Mackenzie Gore, my Nats, and your Rangers already had a
We're
trade.
working deals out.
Yeah, we're celebrating.
It.
It won't stop there. We're also going to sit down with Tim. We're going to talk about some of the new logic, some of the new bullpen logic, some bullpen games. And then, of course, I know some people are asking, what is Streamline franchise? We're going to dive into that today, too. Really excited to get this going.
Carson, as you were saying, we're going to dive into all the different logic systems and overalls, including the whole new trade system, Clayton. But kind of backing it up a little bit, as we're going through these new overhauls and systems and how we're tackling which piece of franchise for each dev cycle, what are some of the pillars that are upholding some of these decisions?
Yeah, that's a good word. We do take it to heart. We emphasize these pillars when we're trying to develop a feature. And the first one's depth. We want layers. We want real life components, as many as possible. We feel that gives a feature replayability. So that goes into, trade system, free agency, all these things. We want authenticity, realism, not only in how our fans engage with the mode, but how the CPU, what it does, how it behaves. We want that to be realistic as well. And we want to follow the current trends in baseball. You guys all know, I think everybody probably knows by now, I want a challenge in a mode. I always want a challenge. I want risk-reward elements. I want there to be strategy. I want stress. To me, stress equates to fun. So if we deliver a feature and it's not challenging and doesn't deliver stress, how can it be fun, right?
I'm glad you mentioned challenge. So I feel like of all the people who I follow who play franchise religiously, they're always asking, make it harder. I want more challenge. I don't want this to be a cakewalk. So the fact that we're going to be building on that a little later with trade logic, I'm excited for them to find out.
And we'll touch on that a little bit. That came up from the community about trades, and obviously we take that to heart. And Fog of War with challenge, getting back to that, I always love Fog of War. People mock me, but I love the little Fog of War,
awesome.
little misdirection. And then if we get, depth, authenticity, and challenge right, then we get immersion, right? We want you getting lost in our systems, enjoying the challenge. And then the last thing is accessibility. We want you to be able to enjoy our features at a higher level, but allow for a deeper dive. And we know it can be overwhelming to newcomers in franchise. There's so much to do in there. But we want them to enjoy it, even if they don't dive as deep in as like Tim or I do with franchise.
Right. Now, hearing about all these pillars, our fans have a little bit of background on what we kind of think about going into each development cycle. But you know what? Without further ado, let's talk trades.
All right, everyone's heard us talk about this new trade experience. Before we go live and make some trades ourselves, Clayton, let's dive into what this means.
Yeah, I'm going to reiterate, this trade logic is written from scratch. It's possible we were trying to stop the old trade system ship from sinking with duct tape and band-aids, but in order to move forward, we had to, abandon the old logic and start over.
Okay, so yeah, what does that mean? I know, realism is the pinnacle, but what can fans expect?
Yeah, I'm going to dig back into the pillars like we talked about. So for the trade system, the perspective of challenge, we felt like trading was too easy, which to me made it boring. It's not easy anymore, which I think you'll love, which I like. The community wants a challenge. We knew they wanted a challenge. They want, again, the risk-reward element. They want the chance that you may lose a trade, No longer is that hand-holding visual that's going to tell you if a trade's been accepted or not. You have to gauge based on feedback and what, satisfies your rival GMs. And the CPU often is going to try to get the better of you in trade negotiations. So you have to be on your toes and pay attention to what's going on around the league.
In addition to creating all these new challenges for our fans to experience, let's also touch a little bit on the realism pillar. Yeah. Some offers and systems are kind of returning back into this trade logic.
Yeah. So we brought back pending offers, and with pending offers comes counter offers, because we wanted that back and forth in trade negotiations, which is real life. That's realism, right? There's a new dynamic trade block logic, which is appropriate for the different organizational strategies. If we talk trade packages, buyers want MLB ready talent. They want win now. Sellers want prospects. They want young MLB talent. And it's wise to be realistic about your team's outlook, when you're trying to fill your trade block. If you're a struggling team, you don't want to behave like you're a buyer.
Yeah,
per se.
Sure.
It may be counterintuitive to what you're trying to do from a trade perspective. There's new feedback system. The bar telling you if a trade is going to be accepted or not, that's gone. Opposing GMs will straight up tell you players that they are interested in, and they'll let you know if a trade is offensive or if it's in the ballpark. Positional needs will guide you so far as org strategies for opposing teams, and rumors will sometimes let you know if a rival is about to steal someone on your trade targets or steal someone that's in a pending offer. And rival GMs will even mock you if you significantly overpay. They'll make fun of you.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, our fans can expect a new level of realism with this new trade hub.
As Carson was alluding to, we're going to have a new look at the trade hub and all the multi-dimensions around it. So can you walk us through what our fans can expect?
Yeah, and this all falls under the depth, right? So there's a new trade hub, a one-stop shop for everything trade-related. It is not the March-October trade hub. It's that, times 1,000. So it's exciting. We have expanded trade slots, 4 aside now. You can have up to 8 players in a trade. Expanded organizational strategies, big buyers, big sellers, small sellers, different kind of stand pats, and it kind of depends on farm rankings that are now incorporated in the trade. So the farm rankings will affect your organizational strategies. We have positional market sentiments. We have overall market sentiments, a buyer's market, or maybe it's a buyer's market at shortstop. And sometimes you can time it. If you want a shortstop, it's a buyer's market, and it's a positional buyer's market at shortstop. You can get a great deal if you time it that way. And then market sizes, they influence player trade values depending on market sentiment and organizational strategies. And then the big thing with market sizes is that, small markets they're not going to be able to acquire those long-term giant contracts. So I'm sorry to the Rays and Pirates. Juan Soto is not going to be coming to you unless maybe it's his walk year or walk year +1.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to make it feel more real than ever before. Like you said, like taking account for these walk years with these small market teams, or even just like the buyer and sellers markets between positions, you're going to have to really put on your GM hat to execute some of these trades.
100%. Timing is going to be crucial, this is all depth, right? The more depth, we want the realism, we want the depth, we want all these pieces in. We have untouchables. We have trade targets. Trade targets, you're basically telling other GMs that you're interested in this player, and then depending on their situations, you make it an offer from them. Like, it's like passively pursuing these players.
Yeah.
We have new rumor logic with, of course, fog of war. Secondary positions. We're excited about this because secondary positions are factored into trades now. So the CPU won't only be targeting, say they need a second baseman. They're not only going to be targeting primary second baseman. They can target players that play second base as a secondary position, right? Updated trade frequency that ramps up the closer you get to the trade deadline. And then positional needs is again there. This drives offers and it's incorporated into trade evaluations.
What I'm kind of hearing through this laundry list of details that we experience in real life with Major League Baseball, with the trade deadline, is now going to be incorporated into franchise at a level we have not seen before, something I know our fans have wanted, and I can just see all the tweets of them wanting to get their hands on this game as soon as possible.
I like how you say that because it's so important for us to get as much depth in as possible because that's what makes it interesting for us as people who love franchise. We get all these pieces in the depth, the challenge, the realism, and it all leads to immersion, right? And the back and forth nature of the pending trades and the counter offers, and it leads to stressful moments, the rumors, the misdirection. It's fun and it will suck you in. Like, this is the most fun I've had playing franchise in a long time with all the the features in place: free agency, trading, scouting and drafting, all these things, and custom game entry.
Yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on it. We're going to be doing some trades live after this pre-record. But for now, I think it's time to go over to Tim and talk lineup logic.
It's time to bring on our heavy pinch hitter for the homer. Tim, welcome back to the feature premiere. Remind our fans, what do you do here?
Hey, I'm a game designer here on the show, and I've been here for about 4 or 5 years, and I'm coming in from cold and snowy upstate New York.
Well, it's rainy here in San Diego, and I hear when it rains, it pours, and we're going to be adding on to all the trade logic we were talking about with Clayton. Walk us through some of the lineup logic that's being added to franchise this year.
We are so excited to talk about lineup logic because this is something that we have had on our radar for quite some time. Lineups, like Clayton mentioned before, are part of our pillars, and we wanted to hit the realism part. So we did a lot of research, and in that research, there was a lot of new trends in baseball that we haven't replicated correctly. We wanted to fix that. So now you're going to see your best hitters hitting in the 2 or 3 hole, and that on-base percentage guy will be in the 1 spot. It doesn't matter anymore the position. We're not looking for the slap hitters, the speed guys. Now you'll see the Otanis, the Schwarbers, those guys hitting in that leadoff spot. Kind of excited.
Yeah, I'm hearing, more modern takes in the game are going into franchise, which is super exciting. I know it doesn't stop there. We talk about depth. We talk about immersion. Tim, let's talk more about this.
So when you talk about depth, one of the things for us is always to have that risk-reward factor in there and also to have some immersion. For our depth, performance matters this year. So attributes are part of the package with the lineups, but performance in game and in previous seasons also come into play. If you had a player last year playing real MLB and their stats didn't really reflect their performance, the artificial GM may decide they're going to put them in a different spot in the order. As the season progresses, that dynamic attributes and performance will end up changing their performance on the field, moving their spot in the lineup. They can move up, they can move down, just like a real manager does in a baseball game.
And it doesn't stop there. I know I'm excited for the next change, which is the bullpen rotation logic and the addition of bullpen games, Tim. Talk us through it.
So in the last couple of World Series, we've seen the bullpen games been a major part of the way the modern use of the bullpen is used. We have the openers that will start the game, they'll pitch an inning or two, and then somebody else will come in to finish off the game. Multiple innings will be pitched, and we wanted to reflect that in our game. So to do that, we have not only the user can utilize this, but the CPU will as well. And there's a few triggers that will happen that'll cause it, just like real baseball. Short-term injuries can impact it. So if you had a starter that's missing a starter or two, you may see a bullpen game that'll occur. A lack of quality in the rotation. So if you don't have a starter that can handle the rigor of pitching at 5 to 6 innings in the major league game anymore, you may see now a bullpen game occur. And if your starting pitcher, for whatever reason, has a long outing and their energy and stamina is down, you may see a bullpen game occur. So one of the things that we had talked about that we wanted to move forward with, anything that the user can do, we want the CPU to do. And you'll see that in our new game this year with bullpen games.
And that leads even more to the realism, the immersion of the franchise experience. But let's touch a little bit on depth. You kind of were already kind of going down that path, whether it's performance, whether it's starting pitcher energy. What kind of depth are our fans looking at to then trigger these bullpen games, or when these bullpen games are occurring?
So like I said, bullpen games are going to occur naturally. It's going to be a part of the game where you'll see, and the user can do this at any time. The user can, if they wanted to have a bullpen game in the 4 spot, the 5 spot, they can set up the bullpen game themselves at any time. The CPU will use it whenever it makes sense for them, based on pitcher energy, a lack of depth, or maybe it's just that that's the best option they have. And you'll see that, and the logic is working great. We're seeing some awesome outcomes with it. And this realism leads to more immersion in our game. And again, it's part of our pillars that we're looking for. And the CPU will even choose the opener based on the qualities that a real GM and real manager look for in an opener.
Yeah, what I'm hearing through, whether it's the trade logic overhaul, lineup logic, bullpen logic, we're just seeing the modern game now being accurately reflected in MLB The Show 26.
That's our whole idea. Everything that we're looking to do is to try to reflect the game of baseball, make it realistic, make it fun, make it challenging.
Thank you, Tim, so much for joining us, talking through lineup and bullpen logic. Is there anything else you want the fans to know?
The only thing that I'm looking forward to showing everyone in the live stream is how lineups, bullpens, rotations are performance-based this year, and you will see that, and they will evolve naturally through the progression, through the season. Performance is going to matter here, so players can move up, down the lineup. They can even move in different spots in the rotation or in the bullpen.
Yeah, we will see it when we go live. Thanks again, Tim.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you once again, Tim, for joining us. I hope you're staying warm in upstate New York. But as we get ready of playing the game, anything else you'd like to say, Clayton?
Yeah, we'll save it for the live portion, but one of the big accessibility additions is Streamline franchise. We'll touch on that then, and then we'll get into some more fan requests, stuff that we've implemented as well, but we'll touch on that when we go live. And then we'll also touch on Yankees aging rotation, Tim's team, and how they'll probably use the bullpen game a lot.
All right, well, I'm excited to get our hands dirty. Let's get to it.
Hello, welcome back. We are live from San Diego studio. We are 14 days away from early access, Ashley.
That is 2 weeks from today. You just heard about how we've built the trade logic system from the ground up. You got a sneak peek into the bullpen and lineup logic as well.
Yeah, before we dive into this live play, we'll be doing some trades with the franchise boys. Don't forget to watch the gameplay, Road to the Show, and presentation feature premieres that are on YouTube right now.
As Carson mentioned, from here on out, we're going to be talking all about the trades. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into Streamline franchise. And reminder, it's all about what's in franchise in MLB The Show 26. That does not include online franchise.
That's right. We'll be focusing on everything new in MLB 26. Twitch drops are active, so make sure you have your accounts linked. We have 3 more MLB The Show 26 packs up for grabs. That's 12 total if you've been watching every feature premiere.
I know I have been. I've been waiting to get my Twitch packs at the end of every stream. But without further ado, we are joined by senior game designer and product owner Clayton, as well as our producer Travis.
Travis!
Oh, stream debut, Travis? Is this your stream debut?
Oh, yeah.
It's a big day.
A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure.
Are you a little nervous?
A little nervous.
That's
okay.
okay.
Little butterflies, but
It means you care, you know?
Travis going to be great. He's going to be great.
So, yeah, I think you guys all saw in the pre-record, we have a ton of great new features in MLB The Show 26. logics. I think for the live portion, we're going to dive in to the dev kit and start looking at what some of these new trades look like and go through a bunch of other fun stuff throughout this whole live portion.
Yeah, let's have some fun. Time to celebrate. I know Tim wishes he could be here. He's stuck in snowy upstate New York, but
hopefully
he's
he's
watching
in the chat.
at home.
Yeah.
Jealous that he's not here.
We're thinking of you, Tim.
Tim, type 1 if you're in chat.
All right, so before we dive too deep into the whole new trade system, I wanted to kind of set up a couple trades that typically will garner some counter offers because, bringing back pending offers, bringing back the back and forth nature of trade negotiations, it was very important to us. And for us, it adds a level of excitement, level of strategy and realism, So if we look at, we'll dig into the trade hub a bit more later, but right now you can, get a quick look at market sentiment, seller's market, bidding wars for right field and second base. But as my beloved Rangers, I set up a couple of trades here. One, trying to look for a prospect shortstop, Jet Williams. I maybe lowballed them a little bit with Berger and Peterson, and then looking for a closer, right? So was targeting Rodriguez, who was on the trade block, and again, slight probably underpay. And typically these kind of trades will garner a counteroffer because they're not going to accept these.
Right, and I think this is important for any of our fans to note. These are pending offers now, right? Like, we're not getting the instant gratification of a trade that you guys might be familiar with. So there is that cat and mouse game. You're sending it across the fence. You're waiting to see what that team's going to say.
Exactly.
And hopefully get some counters.
Yeah, for sure. So you can see here I looked at the MLB trade block. Randy Rodriguez has been placed on the block. So he's someone that I'm looking to acquire, but I don't want to pay more than I have to, right? So set up a couple trades here. We should be able to go into the calendar and then sim, and let's see if we get some counter offers.
So you touched on earlier, you're kind of lowballing a little bit. So what are you kind of expecting to happen once you hear back from your trade partner?
Well, I think they're going to let me know how they feel about the offer, whether the value's there or not, whether any of these players are really meeting their needs, whether it's positional needs, or if they're selling, they probably want young MLB, they want prospects. Our TV is almost turning off here, so 1 second.
It's the beauty of doing everything live,
Yep.
Yep. Never know what's going to happen.
There we go.
There
Perfect.
it is.
All right, so we're going to sim ahead a few days, and hopefully we see some counter offers and we get some of that back and forth nature. Okay, 1 day right off the hop. Okay, so the Giants, if we went back in and we looked at the trade block for the Giants, a position of need for them was right field, among other things. They didn't like my Jake Berger piece of that trade, I believe, is who it was. So they came back and they're literally, they're telling us, you can see here the fit wasn't quite right, but Brandon Nimmo is someone we're interested in, right? So they're straight up telling you a player they're interested in. So again, a very obvious hint, but it's something, you can work around. If you don't like this offer, you can maybe focus a different package on Nimmo, right? So we've got that counter offer there. We'll see if we get another one.
It's cool that they're giving you a little sneak peek into what they're thinking, right, as the CPU.
Another counter offer. And you can see that some decisions are made sooner than later. Right. Some teams take longer to get back. Same thing here. Oh, they're after Jung. So Milwaukee, if we go back to the trade block again, which we can do in a minute, you'll see that they're looking for a third baseman, right? Mm-hmm. And Josh Jung was on my trade block, and so they came back and countered it with a trade that met their needs and that they deem is fair. Although the CPU, more often than not, will try and game you a little bit and get a little extra value out of it.
Game or be gamed, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll jump back in the trade up. If we go in here, MLB trade blocks. Where are the Giants? Up there.
There you go.
So the Giants were looking for a left fielder, actually, but Nimmo, and this is another piece of it, right? Typically, in the past, with the trade logic, they'd only be looking at primary positions, but Nimmo has secondary left field, so they know that Nimmo can fit their need in left field, so that's why they added him to the package. It's going to improve enough their left field position that it's someone that they're after.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That was one of the bigger points of our fielding feedback that came out earlier this morning that fans were kind of latching to. It's not just the primary positions, whether it's us, whether it's the CPU. Your secondary positions matter just as much.
Exactly, and that was important for us.
Yeah.
We felt the old trade logic was limited to primary positions. We didn't want that to be. Same thing when we get into lineup logic. We've really honed in on secondary positions to fill needs in the lineup as well.
Because that's what we see in the real MLB, right?
Exactly.
So we're trying to, make it feel as real as possible.
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, the Brewers, they're seeking first base, third base, center field. So obviously Josh Jung was someone that, improves third base enough that they were happy giving a counter offer for that.
Yeah, very cool.
So, Colin, I'm going to set something up here.
Go back to the main cam?
Yeah, go back to the main cam.
Movie man. Hey,
Perfect.
As Clayton's kind of setting everything up, Travis, what is something that you're most looking forward to about franchise this year?
Oh, I'm just so excited for our team that, you know, with such a small dev cycle, it's kind of tough to get everything in that we wanted to. But I feel like the trades are more true to life, and that's what we really want. You know, we want the reactive trades, and we want it to be fun, and we want it to be realistic. That's what we're striving for.
Right.
We always do as much as we can.
We do as much as we can, and it's
and you know it's built on it's been years in the making, right? Like we talked about in the pre-record, but it's like, you know, you had the free agency stuff, you had the scouting stuff for the draft, and now we're at trades.
Each step is like a foundational step to like improve it as a whole, and we, you know, each year we're just try to improve it.
And I'm going to keep hounding on custom game entry. Custom game entry is there. You can set up the inning you come in, the level of importance you can come in, player highlight moments, all that stuff. So remember, custom game entry is there. So, all right. Now what I want to do is I just want to, we're just going to sim. We're on 30-team control.
All right.
Everything's on automatic. We just want to look at trades that come up and celebrate the trade system here. Talk about the trades and see what happens. We ready to roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to sim through March. Typically April and May, just like in real life, will be quieter months for trades. But we'll see if we get one in April. Already we got one in April.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the D-backs, trading away a reliever, potentially selling already. AJ Puck, 78 overall. All right. Cubs are already buyers.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that as a White Sox fan. Let's take this back a little bit.
And so the D-backs, again, you're looking for, you know, a young piece to build around, 24 years old. Good trade there. All right.
Some of our D-backs fans are bummed. Sorry, guys.
They're selling already. Maybe a small seller early in the season. All right, so one in April. Another one. Who we got here?
All right.
Stevenson. Marlins look like small buyers. Going after a catcher. 286, 4 homers start the year. Nice. And again, another young starting pitcher. See potential, but 64 OVR, 22 years old. He can grow into maybe a back of the rotation starter. We'll see.
Yeah, try to get another arm. Yeah, remember, this is the first look at franchise and MLB The Show 26 live. We're 2 weeks away from early access. It's going quick.
Speaking of my White Sox, trading away Lamonte Jr. Okay.
How do you feel about that, Ashley?
I mean, you know, some...
Ashley, I didn't know you were a White Sox fan.
You didn't know that? I feel like I'm making my whole personality.
Condolences.
Whoa. On the up and up again.
This is news to me.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay. Here we go. My Rangers
There you
already
go.
selling. Can we restart so my Rangers can be buyers? No, it's okay. DeGrom, a big trade.
Wow.
Now, here you'll see, okay, so the Marlins typically wouldn't be buyers for someone of DeGrom's stature with his AAV, but if it's your walk year or walk year +1, you know, some of these small market teams can take a shot at some of these expensive star players, you know, that would typically be out of reach. So DeGrom going to the Marlins
They're going in.
So say, somebody get Steven in here.
already.
This is pretty exciting.
I'll take this B prospect, 20-year-old shortstop. All right. He's got a reliever and a starter. Rangers are rebuilding already.
How do you feel about that?
It could be the White Sox. You know?
Whoa.
Hey, shots fired.
Shots fired.
All right, we're heating up here. Nathaniel Lowe, the Marlins are literally going crazy. Oh,
There he is.
Steven has walked in with his Marlins hat.
A lot of Marlins action.
if only this was real life, right? Daniel Lowe improving their first base position, looking for some bats. Again, another prospect going the Reds' way. The Marlins are just unloading prospects.
Yeah, they must be rattling off quite a few wins here, huh, Clayton?
I got to say, this is typically more trades than I would see in May, so very interesting. All right, we're going through May here. All right, into June now. Should start picking up again.
There we go.
We got 2 trades on the same day. I like this where you can kind of paginate over, which is kind of neat there, the little R1, L1. All right, so what do we got here? Big prospect going to the Giants. Giants are clearly selling. I might cough. Travi, take over. Chapman
Giants,
on the move.
We do see Webb going a lot.
Aiden Miller. Look at this guy. First round draft pick 2023. Interesting. Chapman.
Aiden Miller.
See, now here's the case where 5 years remain, right? The Phillies are willing to take on their big market team, tier 1, tier 2 type team. They're willing to take on that big money over 5 years.
Yeah, market size definitely matters when teams are going for players and money and all that stuff.
All
which
those factors.
Building the bullpen as well. Yeah. And then we have Phillies again, improving the catcher position, moving another top prospect.
We have a little arms race here in the NL East.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have to say it because our fans noticed it earlier today. 4 players, one way going. That's new to this year.
Let's take a look at the standings here. Let's see what's going on with the Phillies and Marlins. Look at this.
Okay.
They're going for it.
Marlins in the wild card hunt, but the Phillies are a machine
kind of running away
right now. Yeah. And a wild card. Marlins still have some work to do despite their trades. Let's go Marlins. I'm cheering for the Marlins.
Yeah.
Everyone loves
They're
an underdog.
buying in. I love it.
Rooting for Steven.
All right, we'll keep moving through June here. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Wow.
Oh,
Really?
this is
a
Another
player
big
that
trade.
when I play, this is the guy I target. I like
Big
his
Christmas?
power. I like his right field. He's got a big arm. He's got big power. This is a trade that I have made a few times while simming.
There you go.
I like the power bat. So Nimmo's on the move to Baltimore. Higashioka, I'm a big fan of his actually. So
Nice player.
Nice backup catcher there. Martin will help out the bullpen.
So another 4 for 3 here.
Look
Adding
at
that
Noel.
extra fourth slot.
I know. Look at Mayo. I know Mayo. They're waiting for him to bust out, but he's going to break out with the Rangers.
He's a big MLB The Show
Yeah,
fan.
I think so.
He's
He
come by
is.
the studio
Does he
before.
play?
Shout out
Yeah.
Kobe.
Very cool.
I'm a fan of this trade. I never like rebuilding, but I'll take it. Good luck, Baltimore. Oh, here's
there we
Tim's
go.
Yankees.
Yankees and Giants.
And they're buying as the
Yeah,
Giants
snagging
continue to
Adonis.
sell,
Moving-
something we've been
Oh, man.
monitoring.
Tim's probably in the chat. Doesn't want to trade his prospect here, but they got Adames, so not a bad trade.
And then there's a question in chat we kind of touched on earlier, but in case they joined in late, not every single trade is going to be automatic because we have pending offers now this year.
No trade's automatic,
Yeah.
actually. There's always going to be a period of time while the team's assessing the trades, maybe waiting for different offers, reaching out to other teams. So nothing's going to be immediate.
Right.
Yeah.
And keep
Send
in
an
mind,
offer and-
this save file, we have access to all 30 teams right now, and
Yeah.
we're just letting trades run through, right?
Exactly.
Correct.
Normally, listen, if you weren't on 30-team control, you would see the blockbuster trades, but you wouldn't see every trade for every team. But we have 30-team control, and everything's set to automatic.
So we're
just
seeing
looking
literally
at all
everything in the
trades.
league.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, we're seeing the logic in action.
Yeah.
All right,
Enrique
Griffin
Bradfield,
Jacks.
huge MLB The Show fan.
Baltimore. All right, so we have an arms race between somehow the Marlins and Yankees, Baltimore, and Phillies right now. Is what I'm
Right? The
seeing.
East is heating up.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
And then I'm seeing some questions. What about the trade deadline, Clayton? What does that mean? Do you got to get those offers in before the deadline?
Well, like anything, end of day
Yep.
on the deadline day,
Right.
no more trades.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's the nature of it.
Oh, this one's interesting. You have Basayo in real life signed a huge extension in the middle of last year, so the Twins are able to send over one of their better pitchers to kind of get that length from Basayo right here.
This is interesting.
This is very
trade.
interesting.
Baltimore's really going for
They
it.
really are.
A lot of action. Baltimore side.
21 years old. Bailey Ober. All right, Orioles.
26 is their year. Shout out Mills.
All right, we're into July. Things could pick up even more now. We'll see. All right.
Right,
Bader to the Royals. Royals are making a little push here. Actually, this is almost like a win-win trade, but
It's pretty
yeah,
even.
it is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe just one that fills a need for
Filling
both
in
teams.
positional
Yeah.
needs. Yeah. So we're working our way to the All-Star
Two
game
trades
here.
today.
Another trade.
The Padres making a move, getting Diaz for first base for young pitcher. Cedric Mullins to the D-backs. They've changed course maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit buyer. Their season's turned around. Waldschmidt.
As we are making our way through the season with the trades, we are answering whatever questions we can live. So if you have them, put them in the YouTube chat, put them in the Twitch chat. We will try to get to them. I know Colin's always on deck, kind of answering or asking the questions when we can. So if you have them, put them in the chat, and we'll hopefully answer them as quickly as possible.
Willie Castro. One of my, I just did a small rebuild with the Rangers. Willie Castro's one of my favorites because look at all the positions he can play. He's a good player.
He's our Diamond Dynasty fans' favorites as well.
Super utility.
Tons of versatility there.
Great pick up by the Brewers there. Can play anywhere. Logan Henderson, another young pitcher. All right, we're approaching the deadline.
Ooh, my White Sox.
Here we go.
Eric Fetty, they flip him once again. They flipped him a couple years ago.
Ex-Nat.
Right, Austin Hayes as well. This is something that I do expect at the trade deadline, both of those guys being flipped for a couple prospects in return.
Regrettably, of course.
With that.
Accuracy.
Big trade. So here we go.
Oh, 4 for 4.
4 slots, like we mentioned before, 4 slots apiece. This is the Max trade. 8 players side. Max Clark, huge prospect going to Cincinnati. Detroit, buying Suarez, getting the bullpen piece. 2 bullpen pieces. Wow, Tigers. Huge trade.
I love it.
It is. Josh's younger brother there for the Reds.
Look at Max Clark.
Max Clark.
On the move.
Top prospect.
Yeah.
First rounder 2023 again. Unreal.
Our fans are digging this one.
Yeah, that's a banger right there.
3 for 3.
Oh.
Look at these
We're getting confetti.
The Orioles. Blockbuster trade. Drew Rasmussen. Gavin Lux. He was on my Ranger rebuild too. This guy is, and we'll get into platoon hitting as well, but he was
former top prospect.
He would obviously he was hitting against righties all the time for me at second base. So he's a good platoon bat for sure.
Yeah.
Dylan Beaver's going back. He's headlining Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
B prospect. Already solid contact against a righty.
Right.
24 years old. The Orioles.
Arms race. I'm loving it.
Right.
Just going nuts.
Going all in.
Pirates even throwing their hat in the ring here. Caratini strengthening the catcher position. 2 trades here. Shocker, that's the Orioles. Orioles and Brewers, they're both going for it. Interesting. This is an interesting trade. Gary Sanchez. Triple McGill. Look at that. What a solid bullpen piece.
Yeah.
80 OVR.
Orioles are
25
absolutely
saves already.
up.
1.91 ERA. Unbelievable. Seems to me the Brewers may have pivoted somewhat. Although they get a serviceable starting pitcher and a top prospect.
Yes.
Very cool trade.
Can't help but notice the Marlins have cooled off a little bit. They got their.
Yeah, right.
We're going to check. We're going to see where they are in the
suspicion.
wild card race.
Right.
Peterson.
The
Cubs are back
continue
at
buying.
it. Devin Williams, one of Tim Barnes' favorites. He's going to miss Devin Williams this year. Here we go.
Seager.
You know what?
Christian
Christian Campbell is someone that was part of my rebuild as well. Okay.
Giving up
we
Seager,
traded
though.
Seager.
That's
What
pretty
is
big.
happening here? Something's wrong with
Seager
this
to the
kid. No, I'm
Red
just kidding.
Sox.
All right, so Eovaldi, again, he's in that walk year plus 1.
Yep.
Spores, bullpen piece. Seager, I don't like to see him go, but he is 31. 6 years remaining, big contract. If you can get Christian Campbell and 2 other top 100 prospects in the game, let's go Rangers. What a smart move.
So again, you see the Red Sox taking on that big contract.
And
Maybe
Brewers
a smaller
have
market
clearly
team wouldn't do
pivoted.
that.
Brewers have clearly pivoted. They're selling Woodruff. Walk here for Woodruff. Big contract, but the Padres are strengthening their rotation. So some cool trades there. Trade deadline day. 3 trades here. Another big one. 8-player trade. Houston making a late push. The Mets pick up Yelich.
Wow.
Brewers really are selling.
Getting
Big
rid of
Bowers as well.
everyone.
Yup.
Yeah, we'll go over that right after this.
Jonah Tong
Look at
heading
this
back to the
one.
A's.
Severino to the Mets. Bullpen piece.
Aaron Savali, White Sox legend.
Yeah.
All right.
White Sox legend.
So there we have it. We can't control how many trades happen on certain days. Sometimes, honestly, trade deadline, I've seen up to like 10, 11 trades on those days, which is exciting. Let's check out the standings now. We'll see where we're at. Where do we think the Marlins are at?
I'm scared to look.
I'm scared to say.
Look at the Orioles with all their acquisitions. They're still look like in the wild card hunt.
They're pushing
Red
right.
Sox.
Yeah.
Red Sox there,
there.
And they added Seager. Tim, your Yankees, come on.
I'm curious, where are the Brewers? They have to be somewhere near the bottom, given all that they've been giving up.
There
we go.
Orioles firmly in the wild card, though.
Yeah.
Yankees as well, Astros. They were all buying.
Mm-hmm.
Tigers as well. They had that one trade.
Gave up Max Clark for it.
They did, but they're
One
in the
game
mix.
back. Yeah,
they're
they're
still
right
on
there.
the hunt.
Nope.
We go with the NL, Phillies cooled
can
off
keep
a little
running.
bit,
Yeah.
but the Marlins.
They're still hanging around.
They are. We'll take a look at the wild card stand. Cubs, solid. Look at the Pirates. What's that rookie's name?
Connor Griffin.
Oh, he's probably making a difference.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
Hey.
fucking Dodgers. Bye. We won't talk. Travis is a Dodgers fan. All right, so Padres, D-backs. Oh, there you go. D-backs in the mix.
Right.
The Brewers fell off. Marlins 4 games back. Come on, Marlins. Still
Yeah.
cheering for you.
Brewers under 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brewers made a business decision there at the deadline.
They did.
Just
All right.
Yeah.
So we want to do a
Selling
run
everyone.
there to show you all the trades that happened up to the trade deadline. Colin, I'm going to set something up here.
go main cam.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. But hopefully we like those trades. I thought there were some very interesting trades.
There's some
I like,
very interesting
It's
ones.
fun seeing like the 4 for 4, the 4 for 3, the mega
Right.
trades happening out there. It's
Yeah.
very interesting.
When it pops up on the screen, you're like, whoa. A lot of guys are moving.
Yeah. Some emotions here too, especially when your Rangers popped up.
Oh,
You
Seager.
know,
Unexpected sellers.
I didn't like moving Seager,
Yeah.
Eovaldi, but do you see what they got for
Yeah.
him? Wow, what a haul. Impressive.
I still
Almost
miss
as
Seager.
if I was GM. You know?
There you go.
I see. I see.
I still miss Seager, and it's been years.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
True. All right, so I'm going to set something up for a solo run now with, naturally, my Rangers.
Of course.
Okay.
We'd be
But,
worried if it wasn't.
Yeah, give me a minute here.
So this will look a little different. Instead of the 30 teams, we're just going to be locked
Owning
in on
in.
the Rangers. We're going to be making decisions, making offers,
Yeah.
trying to
gonna
maybe we'll buy instead of sell like the CPU did.
Well,
Oh, there you go.
we could.
Flipping on its side.
Again, it behooves you to like listen to your team and your standings, and if you have a realistic shot at the playoffs.
Sure.
And again, listen to the market
Listen to the
sentiment. We'll
market.
dig into all these pieces.
We have to be
But-
reactionary, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna set everything to
Toes.
auto except trades, and then we'll jump in and we'll see. We'll dig into the Rangers here. All right, Colin, we're ready here.
All right.
Let's hit the dev kit.
Cool. So once again, we're now single team focused.
New save
Yeah.
file.
Now, before we dig into the trade hub, let's talk pitching rotations.
All right.
Yes.
Let's talk bullpen games.
And we touched on some of this in the pre-record, but the addition of bullpen games is going to make life easier for some teams, especially when injuries pop up and stuff like that, right?
Right. So as Tim alluded to, obviously we want realism, we want modern trends, and obviously the bullpen game is one of those modern trends. Where are my notes on the bullpen game here? So the Angels, we're coming in the season. Clearly, it's deemed that they don't have a quality enough fifth starter, right? So they're right off the start, opening day, they're running a bullpen game. You can have the bullpen game in any slot. It doesn't have to be in the fifth slot. Oh, I don't control them, so that's right. I can't switch that. But you can move it
Right.
to the second
CPU
slot,
did that.
third slot, what have you. Stevenson is their opener. You can switch your opener at any time,
Yeah.
And bullpen games. Modern game, realism. That's what we like to see. And the CPU is doing it naturally for the Angels, which is something we didn't expect all the time. But basically, so lack of quality, that's the deal with the Angels here. Sorry, Matt on our team, big Angels fan. Sorry you don't have enough good starting pitchers. Short-term injuries, fatigue with some pitchers in the rotation. That'll trigger, the CPU to automatically do a bullpen game. Now, if you have a bullpen game, but your rotation, the pitchers can pitch, like say there's a day off and they can get regular rest, then the bullpen game will be skipped. So it's another little
Cool.
realistic fact in there.
So Travis, this will also be the computer will be able to do it for you if you
Correct.
need to, but
Correct.
you
This
can
is-
always step in and make your own
Right,
decision.
you can step in and make your choice. This is a CPU controlled team, but correct. This start of the season, Angels, typically we see bullpen games to start. Yeah.
Yeah, I was play testing this a little bit, and it's fun, like setting up the bullpen game,
Right.
deciding who your opener is going to be and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm seeing some chatter about some questions regarding regression. We will get to regression in a little bit. Hang tight. We will answer your question. Right now, we're going a little bit in bullpen logic, and we also have some new lineup logic as well, Clayton.
That's true, but you didn't mention regression. I'm happy
All
to
right,
talk
if you want to
about
go
it
into
now.
it, let's do it
Yeah.
now.
Right in.
Okay, I think like the rest of you out there, the community, it wasn't fun having like an aging all-star who was still playing at an all-star level just literally fall off the cliff,
Right.
right? So we've updated regression logic. if an aging player past his peak, if he's still playing at or above his expected level, then his regression is going to be much slower than it ever has before. So you'll see these guys, these all-stars, these top players that are still playing well, they're going to age more gracefully. They're not going to fall off a cliff. So yeah, that's new logic that's in as well. So hopefully that answers that question.
Yes. And that'll pertain to those higher tier all-star caliber players.
It's kind of anybody really though, and Trey, you can touch on too.
Right, it's all players, but it's especially noticeable with the top tier players, the all-stars, and they just all of a sudden hit a certain age and then just drop way off. We don't want to see that. If they're still playing at a good level, they'll continue.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, if your peak is a C potential, B potential player, and you're playing at or above that, they'll still regress more slowly, but it's more noticeable. You know the names. You see like now maybe you'll see Chris Sale fall off a cliff.
Whoa!
In past
Don't disrespect my king like that.
Fair.
But understandable.
This regression
point
is
taken.
protecting him, right? So if he's playing at an all-star level, much more graceful, he'll go off into the sunset with a beautiful end.
It just won't end like that. Yeah.
There we go.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Yes.
Now, since we have the rotation screen, the bullpen here, there is new bullpen logic. I think Tim touched on it, but let's dig into it a bit more. The new logic, it basically looks to pitch relievers who have not pitched in a while. Like a lot of times, even with closers, if they haven't pitched in 3-4 days, they're going to throw them out there for an inning and get some work in, right? Otherwise, there's too much rust. They want to give them some action, give them even like a half inning, even a game where it's not a safe situation, right? So that logic's in there. We look at pitcher usage over like the previous 10 days, pitches thrown, how much energy. The logic is much more in tune to like high leverage situations, so like setup men, closers. Typically they'll come in more high leverage situations, and it doesn't have to be like 7th or 8th inning. Depends on the situation of the game. Stutter McGee over here.
Good. But that's something we are seeing in real life Major League Baseball is your closer isn't always coming in the 9th inning. It's whatever that highest leverage situation is. If it is in the 7th inning, that's where you're going to see your highest leverage reliever.
Yeah, it's modern trends, right? So a lot of times, sometimes you'll have a set closer, then you have another guy designated as this. If there's a fire that needs to be put out earlier in the game, he'll come in, right? Yeah. And then the reliever selection overall looks at skill, looks at usage, looks at season workload, how much rest, obviously handedness matchup, and then again the high-low role as far as reliever leverage for reliever. Yeah.
Yes.
So all that bullpen logic should just be more modern, smarter.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that transitions us well into lineup logic, where it's very similar. We're going to see guys with the highest OBP at the top of the lineup, while those who have better slugging, they're going to be more toward in the middle of the lineup.
Exactly. Tim touched on it. Best hitters will be batting 1, 2, 3. Typically on base percentage guy, lead off. Your best hitters in the 2-hole. And then typically you get the power guy, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. And we try and obviously get some splits in handedness. We don't want to stack a lineup all righties or all lefties. So we try to, there's logic in there to where it can, get some variance in handedness. But there are hitters now, some righties can crush righties, some lefties can crush lefties. So it depends on their attributes and, again, performance. So lineup logic as well, modern trends like we've been talking about. And then the lineups are dynamic, right? So it's performance-based. It's about attribute progression and regression. And then it's roster competition. You make trades. You call guys up, send guys down. There's going to be some shuffling of the lineup, and it's going to try to optimize it. Defense and secondary positions matter. Like we touched on before, secondary positions are a big thing with lineups now. We're not just looking at primary positions. The best players will play if they can fit in the lineup. And then someone may have a slightly better bat, but if they're significantly better defensively, they're going to go in because it's even more advantageous, than a slightly better bat. Someone that can crush it from a defensive perspective. They're going to get in the lineup.
Yeah.
CPU lineups will be optimized. They're no longer just subbing in a player. Those lineups will be optimized. And then to start a season, it's basically, we have like 3-year weighted WAR, and the weighted stats will go into it. We kind of leverage team needs, so it's about, attributes, weighted stats, performance,
Right.
And so that's everything that goes into lineups.
Yeah, so as our fans have been hearing, we have new bullpen logic, we have new lineup logic. I know we still want to touch on Streamline franchise to end this live, so appreciate you all sticking with us. One last question before we move on. I saw it asked in the Twitch chat. When do you decide to do a bullpen game? It looks like the user is in control of that, while the CPU is going to kind of do it depending on where they are with which starter.
Right, CPU will do it. If there's fatigue, lack of energy, maybe short-term injury. Say a guy's out for a week and not long enough to put him on the IL, or what was the other situation? Or just not enough quality, like we saw with the
quality
Angels.
starts,
Yeah. So those are the cases. As a user, you probably look at the same thing. Maybe you overtaxed a few starters. Maybe you have a short-term injury. Maybe you just don't love your fifth starter, fourth starter, or whatever.
And you have a
bullpen game. Exactly.
Right.
Especially
Have a better
bullpen.
bullpen. Might as well use it.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing in some of my Sims too. And in my rebuild, I was like stacking my bullpen because I couldn't get enough quality pitchers at the start of it, and I was just running bullpen games, which is kind of fun, to be honest.
Make it work.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a nice little wrinkle, but that is the new logic introduced in franchise. We are excited for you all to experience this for yourself just 2 weeks from today with the Digital Deluxe Edition for early access. But we wanted to end this stream talking about Streamline franchise, Travis. So I'll hand it off to you.
Sure, yeah. Streamlined, it's all about accessibility. Like Clayton talked about their pillars. We want, more accessible, easier onboarding. Franchise can be difficult to manage. It's a beast. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of levers to pull. Can be overwhelming at times. So we wanted to have like a simplified experience to default you to more manageable day-to-day pieces. It's a very tailored experience, and it kind of guides you into that experience. And it's it's more of that onboarding experience as well.
So it makes it less daunting for, we know that we have our fans that love getting into the weeds with their franchise. This is for the more casual franchise fan.
Correct.
No, guys, I'm going to interrupt because we're not ready to go streamlined yet.
Oh.
We still have to do Trade Hub. We got to dig in a bunch of stuff here with my Rangers.
That's right.
All right, let's do it.
Then
Let's do
we'll
it
get
right
back
now.
into
That's
streamlined.
okay.
Sorry to
We're getting a little long over here. Just want to make sure we're
Travi a
covering.
curveball there.
Yeah.
Travi's like, where's my visual? All right, so we're going to dig in here. I simmed a little bit ahead, but I want to get into the Trade Hub. Let's get into all the pieces of it. Right away when you hop in, again, market sentiment, seller's market, bidding wars for closing pitchers, but there's an abundance of starting pitchers, right? So could be bargains for starting pitchers. We give you a little guidance down there. If you're not getting any pending offers, load up your trade block. I'm Texas, so my Texas trade block, and then fill out my trade targets and fill positions.
Right.
Rumors, again, we mentioned fog of war. Some of these are real, some of these are not. Just like if you're online scouring all the gossip out there.
Yeah, some of my White Sox involved in a rumor potentially.
What's true and what's
White
not?
Sox could use an upgrade. Well, that's
All right.
Listen,
Listen.
that goes without saying at any position. But anyway,
got to decipher the real ones from the false
so we'll
ones.
dig in here. We're gonna load up the trade block here. All right. So who should we put on the block, guys? I'm putting Nimmo.
Yeah.
I'm putting
Nimmo?
Garcia.
So the Giants are still interested in Nimmo?
I'm not putting Seager, but I'll put DeGrom.
Wow.
Let's see if someone still tries to get Seager. I'm putting Berger. Spores.
Also White Sox legend.
Josh Smith. I like Josh Smith. Very versatile, but I'll put him on the block.
Yeah. How many players can you put on the block?
Put 20 players on
All
the block.
Yeah.
Let's see. Zeke.
If you're looking to clean house,
I was about to say. Yeah.
load it up.
Plenty.
You have the opportunity.
As you can see here, Sebastian Walkett's already untouchable, so I can't put him on the block. Well, I could change it, but
True.
I'm going to leave him off there for now. Put a few more guys. Let's see here. All right. Let's back out of here. Untouchables. Clearly we have some untouchables set here. I'm going to say Gutierrez for me. I would like to remove him as an untouchable. Kumar, I like you, but we're going to dangle you as well. Actually, let's dangle. Let's dangle Kumar. Where is he?
Good question in the chat. How do you make a player untouchable?
You go over to untouchables, go into your list,
And
and
there you go.
select
Add 'em as
any
they are.
player you want
Perfect.
to make
Yeah,
untouchable.
we got-
Yeah.
About 5 more minutes here, so we're going to try to
Okay.
get some trades out so everyone can see what it looks like.
We're going to set up some positions. Positions will drive. You're basically telling the other GMs in the league, these are the positions I'm looking
what's
for.
available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys know how that works.
Helps the trade interactions with the CPU, and they know what you're looking for.
Okay, that's important.
One question I've seen come up is, what is the stuff in the attributes?
Yeah, stuff. That's
Travis, you want
that's
to take
more
that
of
one?
a that's more of a gameplay question.
Let's jump in.
We're not covering draft and scouting. That stuff's all returning from last year, right?
Yeah.
So stuff kind of here. It's for
It
pitchers. It goes into
encompasses-
hits per
Right.
9, Ks
Yeah.
per 9, homers per 9.
Think about
Basically, it's the kind of the
Their
quality
attributes,
of
yeah.
your
Kinda-
stuff.
What kind of stuff do you have?
all-encompassing,
Yeah.
Yes. In case you missed it, our gameplay feature premiere was the first one that we kicked off with. That is still available on YouTube right now. Sony San Diego Studio.
Check it out.
Now, one thing I like to do, you can set trade targets up here. You can click in and look around the league, and you can kind of set anybody's trade targets except Gunnar Henderson, who's an untouchable.
Yes.
But what I like to do, I like to go to the MLB trade block and look around the league, see who I may be interested in acquiring. Okert's tempting me, and I can select him, and I can add Steven Okert as a target from here as well. So there's
Okay.
two ways to add trade targets. I'm gonna add Okert on there. What kind of relievers? Jimenez, sure. Will I Joe Jimenez as a target? I need a big bat. Oh, I like Casas actually. He was part of my rebuilds back in the day
That's
as
right.
well.
Get him back. There we
Add
go.
him as a
Can't
target.
look around.
And I like Alec Baum. We'll put him on there as well.
Perfect.
So there you go. My trade target's been filled up, and I did that through the MLB trade blocks down there.
All these are trying to make the user experience easier, better. You can do it from here. You can do it from here. You can do it from the main trade hub. Yeah,
Lots of options
right.
for our fans.
All right, so let's sim a little bit. Again, we're early. It's April, so
Right. It's
might
gonna take a
not be
little
a
bit.
ton of trade action here. I got an offer already.
All right.
Luke
Offer.
Ray, because I pushed Josh Smith on the block. Luke Rayleigh, I set first base as a positional
Mhm.
need. Not sure he's an upgrade over my boy Jake Berger, but
I
It's nice to
appreciate
see
the
the
Jake Berger
offers come
appreciation.
yeah. Oh, that's true.
All
White
right.
Sox. All right. I'm gonna keep Josh Smith here.
All right.
But if you go to your trade hub, I have a received offer. I can accept. I can counter. I can decline. I'm gonna decline this one though.
Yeah.
All right.
Just let them know.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to.
Has to be better.
I'll be polite. I don't want to linger in around in there. And I'll go back in a second here. See if I want to update anything in my trade hub.
Right.
As we're simming, I do want to. Some people are asking about March to October. Streamlined franchise is essentially going to be your way of having an MTO like feature in the game. It's going to be a little less of a in the weeds as your normal franchise. It'll be completely customizable. You'll be able to pick when you want to go into games and do things. Anything else you want to add there, Travis?
Yeah, it's like you said, it's completely customizable. Like you can pick the number of games you want to enter. You can pick the situational importance. You can pick player highlight moments, stuff like that. You can just play the way you want to play.
Yeah, it's like a customizable version, correct? And that's within franchise this year. So when you boot up franchise, you'll have a choice to go full franchise or streamlined and kind of go from there.
Now, this is tough because we have only a certain amount of time here. I would
Mhm.
I like to dig into the weeds here deep to really. But let's see what other kind of offers. Blockbuster trade, Alcantara
Ooh, Sandy.
for Jason.
So we're still getting the
Dominguez.
blockbuster notifications.
Yeah, even though I'm
Yes.
only controlling the Rangers, we still get the blockbuster
Right.
notifications.
All right.
Another blockbuster. Cutter Crawford, Kevin Alcantara. Chapman.
Oh, Chapman.
Going back to the Cubs.
I don't like Cubs
Journeyman.
making moves.
Yeah,
here. What's
right?
going on over here? You know?
There we go.
there it
Oh
is.
my God. See, that's why I
Oh.
put Kumar on the block.
All right. You get Pete back.
Pete, 5 years, 31 million.
Big contract he just signed.
All right, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes, right?
Yes.
Couple minutes.
Okay. Well, all right. So we mentioned that March, October is not coming back. We talked about Streamlined a little bit. If you get us a minute, we'll set something up and come in through Streamline if that's okay. Colin, is that cool?
It's fine with
Let's
me.
do it.
And then we'll touch on Streamline and March, October. One more second here. I Just want to set some stuff.
So as you've been watching along with all of us, new trade logic built from the ground up, new bullpen logic, lineup logic. We're going to talk about Streamline franchise in just a little bit, which is going to give you that March to October-like experience within franchise itself. And then before then, you'll have a chance to get your hands on the game in just a couple of weeks.
2 weeks for early access.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to come into Streamline here. Obviously, you have the option to take full control, go to Streamline. We'll go Streamlined. You can only control one team in Streamline, and it's the idea of Streamlined.
It's your Nats.
Yeah, it gives you, well, we'll control the Nats, why not? It gives you, listen, it's an MTO-like experience, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, we default you to, and we'll show you in here. We default your CGE settings, your custom game entry settings, so that you can customize it, but we default it to something that'll give you an experience similar to March, October. We set up your tasks.
Somebody literally just asked a question about tasks in the chat.
Yeah.
It's a great timing.
So you have tasks, scouting, trades, and free agency. Those are set to manual through Streamlined. And again, that's what you controlled in March, October. Right. The only difference here is you can customize it. So it's almost like it's March, October, but it's a level of customization that's beyond March, October.
Right.
So, and we felt, we had some of our resources were dealing with March, October. Some of our resources were dealing with franchise. Now we can focus all of our resources on the franchise and still give you an experience very similar to March, October, and another way that's accessible for the user that's a bit more casual. But we can also focus all our resources on franchise. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, it's well said. So Streamline, it looks a little different than what MTO fans might expect, but it is customizable. It feels really good. I've been playing it, and it's a nice feature.
So here, there's one button, you can go Streamline to full control. So you come in, it's accessible, you're happy playing at high level, you want to dig a little deeper in some of these other things, you switch over one button, switch over to full control. You can set injury management to different settings instead of automatic. So again, and switch back to Streamline whenever you want, and those things are locked, and you have manual free agency trades just like in March, October.
There we go. Before we let you all go, anything else you'd like to tell our fans?
Wow, there's a few more fan requests. We've increased the fog of war in scouting. There was also someone online found a way they knew exactly who a generational talent was. We found that, that's
impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Right,
The time and dedication it took to figure that out was impressive, but we shut the door on that. So sorry about all your effort. We talked about regression. We have new DFA logic. You can't just kick an aging veteran to the curb anymore. There's new DFA logic in there. Updated trade values for star players and prospects. Do you want to hit on the depth?
No. Oh, I'm on the wrong page.
That's okay.
Yeah,
we moved pitcher energies so you can see it on the rotation screen now. It's nice to know how fresh or not your starter is.
For sure.
We split up, as you can see down here, arbitration and renewables so that they're its own option now. If you like dealing with arbitration but hated dealing with renewables, you can now have different
Pick
options for each.
Right,
exactly. Yeah. Updated Hall of Fame logic selection logic, I should say, and then we have rosters that are more dedicated to franchise, right? So they should be set up better when it comes to positions, attributes, and it'll work better with the franchise ecosystem as a whole. So that and more, but we don't have enough time.
We're at time. Thank you so much, Clayton and Travis, for joining us.
You're welcome.
And walking through all the new franchise stuff in MLB 26.
And thank you, fans, for sticking with us. This was our 4th feature premiere. We're, again, just 2 weeks away from early access. You'll be able to hear about all things new in Diamond Dynasty next week, and then all things live content the week after.
Pre-orders are open right now. If you liked what you saw, you can go check it out. Any digital deluxe edition owners from 21 will get a 10% discount if they purchase.
And remember, early access 2 weeks from today with the purchase of a digital deluxe edition. And with that edition, you'll have not 1, but 2 World Baseball Classic packs. So you'll immediately start your DD journey with 2 WBC players.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk more about that in a little bit. But standard launch day will be on March 17th, St. Paddy's Day. We're very excited for it. Sign up for the scouting report if you need any news on what we're doing, any live content stuff once the game comes out, all sorts of great goodies there. And then, of course, follow us on socials for other information.
Schedule? We just said schedule.
We just said the schedule.
Oh, say it again.
All right, next week is Diamond Dynasty. The week after is live content. I know a lot of you in the presentation feature premiere noticed that Roflo said he really liked how parallels were customizable this year. You'll be able to find out just how so in exactly a week.
He did say that, didn't he?
He did. I love that he said it.
I'm excited to talk about it next Thursday, 2 o'clock. We'll see you there.
Every legend starts somewhere. Not in the spotlight, but in the work. One swing, one pitch, one moment at a time. It starts here. Bus rides, long days, late nights. Dialing in your swing, leveling up your look. Chasing your first, hey, that kid's special. Then, it clicks. You're locked in. Every swing smoother, every pitch nastier, every moment straight heat.
Big moment for the closer. He delivers. Got him swinging.
Okay, now you're repping your country. Different pressure, different pride. This is the world stage. Or maybe your journey takes you upstairs, flipping prospects, stacking lineups, building a ball club your way. Getting to the majors? That's just the beginning. Cooperstown is the goal. But you gotta earn it. It's your journey, your moment, your show. Make your mark. Become a legend.